So this is the last Zoom meeting before the holidays. In our systematic study of the Rasa dance, we're now at the end of chapter 32, which is the chapter right before the Rasa dance. And in our last meeting, we heard the gopis expressing a very subtle mood toward Krishna. They welcomed him when he came back after he had left them in the forest all alone. And then the Gopi Gita, they sang. Upon his return, they were pleased. They welcomed him. But there was still a tinge of disappointment, anger, depending on the different nature of each gopi. And they asked Krishna a question to reveal their disturbance, but at the same time wondering how he felt about love. So we'll pick up with a short review of those verses, that verse, and then Krishna's answer. So this is our text for today. Chapter 32, the reunion, first from Krishna book. And this is a review from the last lesson. Having gotten their most beloved Lord, the gopis began to please him by moving their eyebrows and smiling, and also by suppressing their anger. Some of them took his lotus feet in their laps and began to massage him. And while smiling, they confidentially expressed their suppressed anger and said, "Dear Krishna, we are ordinary women of Vrindavan, and we do not know much about Vedic knowledge, what is right and what is wrong. We therefore put a question to you, and since you are very learned, you can answer it properly. In dealings between lovers, we find there are three classes of men. One class simply receives, and another class reciprocates favorably, even if the lover is contrary. And the third class neither acts contrary nor answers favorably in dealings of love. So, out of these three classes, which do you prefer, or which do you call honest?" Samapriya, have another reader for this, please. Remember to unmute.
Hare Krishna, everyone. Nice to see you all here. Let's start off today with Jagarini. Would you like to read? Unmute, sweetie. Unmute.
Oh, thank you. I miss you guys. Thank you very much. Okay, text 17 to 19 in Krishna book. In answer, Krishna said, "My dear friends, persons who simply reciprocate the loving dealings of the other party are just like merchants. They give in loving affairs as much as they get from the other party. Practically, there is no question of love. It is simply business dealing. And it is self-interested or self-centered. Better the second class of men who love in spite of the opposite party's contrariness, even if those without a tinge of loving affairs are better than the merchants. Sincere love can be seen when the father and mother love their children in spite of their children's neglect. The third class neither reciprocates nor neglects. They can be further divided into two classes. One is the self-satisfied who do not require anyone's love. They are called Atmarama, which means they are absorbed in thoughts of the Supreme Personality of Godhead, and so do not care whether one loves them or not. But another class are ungrateful men. They are called callous. The men in this group revolt against superior persons. For instance, a son, in spite of receiving all kinds of things from loving parents, may be callous and not reciprocate. Those in this class are generally known as Guru Druha, which means they receive favors from the parents or the spiritual master and yet neglect them. Krishna indirectly answered the questions of the gopis, even those questions which implied that Krishna did not properly receive their dealings. In answer, Krishna said that he, as the Supreme Personality of Godhead, is self-satisfied. He does not require anyone's love, but at the same time, he said that he is not ungrateful.
Thank you. Patsy, did you want to have a discussion now? Because
Oh,
you
sure, we can go a little bit into discussions. The
Okay.
other things are in the other parts, the asterisks.
Oh, okay.
Looks like Acharya has something.
Okay, Acharyaji, before we start there, I just want to note that this humble presentation of the gopis, I think that's worthy of meditation. How they have appeared in this very humble manner and are presenting all these questions to Krishna, but they're humble, so according to society, they're very humble. Did you say Acharya has, Acharya, do you have a question?
No, not
Oh,
me.
not yet, not yet.
Someone else.
Karnath? Thank you, Acharya.
Yeah, my question is that even though it's describing classes of men and the word men is being used, does it refer to just classes of lovers of either gender?
Sure.
Yes,
Yes,
men usually
certainly.
means mankind.
Sometimes in language, I know now there's more unisex grammatical adjustments, but at the time when this was written, he may mean he or she.
Yeah.
In general places like this. Jagarini, any realizations about these three different classes of people?
Well, I was just thinking about Krishna saying it to the gopis, you know. They were holding back their anger, right? So they were upset at the way he was treating them. And I wonder if their question was sincere. Like, what I mean by that is they, basically they're saying, how do you justify your actions?
Right, exactly.
You've left us very unsatisfied, very unhappy. What do you think of that? How do you?
Yeah.
And he put it to them, that he's he reminded them who he is. I'm
Right.
not sure if that was the answer they were looking for.
Well, there's going to be a lot of answers and questions in this part. So let's see, Bahushra and then Madan.
Guru Druha. Now that's interesting because Prabhupada in one tape, he was saying, the spiritual master is not like a dog. Like, come here, dog, come here,
Nice.
serve me. The thing is that the spiritual master has to chastise. So sometimes the disciple doesn't like that. And they want to see how they can manipulate the guru for their own purposes.
So that's in relationship to that particular category, just kind of expanding on it. Bahusha, is that what you were doing? Why you mentioned that?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Yeah,
yes,
figured.
exactly.
Just clarifying.
Okay.
Madan?
I was just thinking of Prabhupada, that he's certainly the Amarama, and he's always meditating on Krishna, but he showed so much reciprocation with everyone. So I was hoping somebody could comment on that or tell me what you think.
Well, we're going to read later in this section. Krishna directly speaks about that particular issue, how when he is apparently not responding, it could mean that he's also he's always there responding, but even though it doesn't look like it. So let's just wait. That exact thing. And actually, I appreciated so much that one small paragraph from the purport. I've been sending it all over the world. It's so wonderful. So we'll just wait until we get there, and I'm sure you'll notice it. We'll point it out. Okay, shall we go on now, Patti?
Yeah.
Okay, Acharya, you want to read?
Yes, thank you. Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 10, Chapter 32, Text 17, Sarartha Darshini. The Supreme Personality of Godhead said, so-called friends who show affection for each other only to benefit themselves are actually selfish, They have no true friendship, nor are they following the true principles of religion. Indeed, if they did not expect benefit for themselves, they would not reciprocate. Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur. Understanding the intention of the gopis, Krishna answered, those who reciprocate with one another based on expectation of return for their assistance are endeavoring exclusively for the sake of their own rewards in the present and future. They are indeed worshiping only themselves and no one else. Their mutual reciprocation would not occur otherwise. They are selfish persons with conditional love and are full of lusty desires. Consequently, these people have no love, sohridam, prema, nor do they have any dharma, faultless religiousness.
So what's your realization of that? Do you know people like that?
Yeah, I saw someone like that just this morning when I got up in
Oh
the
my
mirror.
God.
Oh, you look in the mirror. I don't think so. No, seriously.
Yeah, we all, I mean, people have that. Maybe some of us, I have it to some extent. I'm sure we've experienced that, you know, and you know what? We have these expressions, I wash your hand, you wash my hand, I scratch your back, you scratch my back. That this kind of utilitarian conception is not
Right.
only not love, but I don't remember, but he said it's actually, a person like that is actually full of lusty desires. So that's pretty strong.
One question. Who was the devotee who told Krishna, I'm no merchant. You don't have to, I'm not a merchant. You don't, not that I
Oh.
did this seva for you because I wanted some payback. He was offered something.
Oh, was that his schoolmate Sudam Brahmin who said that, or
No,
no?
it was
No, who
either,
was that?
I think
Raise
it was
hands. Raise hands.
Okay.
No, we know who it is.
Okay.
Raise hands.
Akornath.
Obviously, Prahlad Maharaj.
Ah,
Ah,
yes.
I'm
Was
not
it
a running.
that? Yeah. Or what? Yeah.
When Lord Nrsingadev asked him, I'm so pleased with you. You pleased ask for a benediction, and that was his answer.
Right.
And then he finally said, he doesn't need anything for himself, but those who don't remember Lord Nrsingadev or don't remember Krishna, he's concerned about them, and he doesn't want to be like a yogi who goes up into the mountain caves and just, but he wants to go to the cities and towns to spread Krishna consciousness. Very important verse for Sankirtan devotees.
Very nice.
So the first category is those who reciprocate only when they're reciprocated with accordingly in their own way. They're selfish people. Now the next one.
Okay, let's see. Kornath, why don't you read?
Sure, thank you. Text 18. My dear slender-waisted gopis, some people are genuinely merciful or, like parents, naturally affectionate. Such persons who devotedly serve even those who fail to reciprocate with them are following the true, faultless path of religion, and they are true well-wishers. Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur. Krishna here answers the second questions. Those who honor those who do not honor them are showing unconditional respect. They are of two categories, those with family relationship, such as the father and mother, and those who are merciful by nature. Specifically, the merciful are the pure devotees like Prahlad Maharaj who manifest unconditional mercy. But both these types are not concerned with personal gain. Whether they are happy or miserable, they continue to reciprocate with the other person, and even after death, they do not give up their respect. Even after death, they do not give up their respect. Interesting. Among these, pure devotees are the best, and the mother and father are second class. The religiousness, dharma, of both these classes is faultless because it is free from expectation of material results. Their undying friendship and pure love, sohrida prema, is also faultless. O slender-waisted ones, sumadhyamaha. The word sumadhyamaha implies indirectly that the middle question of the gopis is the most excellent. Because they apply to dishonorable examples, the first and last questions are not as respectable. Or it can mean this middle answer actually is directed towards you gopis, who are the personification of the middle question's answer.
Oh, beautiful. Okay. So what do you think of that, Akurnath?
Yeah, getting back to the idea of selfless love, other than parents, it's hard to find an example in the material world of people just expect that love is a transaction, and when they're not getting reciprocated properly, then your friends will tell you, then abandon that other person. They're not reciprocating with you, or your marriage family therapist will tell you, get a divorce. I don't know if they're allowed to say that. So,
Hare Krishna.
but I think this is so beautiful how the explanation of the word sumadhyamaha, that they asked about three kinds of lovers, and he's saying this middle question is most important, or he's saying this answer directly addresses you.
Right.
Because the gopis really, even though they were feeling separation, the gopis really have selfless love for Krishna.
Yes, of course. Akurnath, thank you. I mean,
That was Acharya.
Acharya, I'm sorry. Acharya.
Yeah,
And then
thank you.
Madan.
Yeah, I just want to echo what Akurnath Prabhu just said, that explanation of Sumadhyama. First of all, I love it when there's like some wordplay and hidden meanings involved. That's just a lot of fun actually. And I'm just so grateful that we wouldn't understand that without Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur explaining it. And such a nice point that Sumadhyama, because the gopis are beautiful, and Sumadhyama, because that middle question is the best and applies to them. I was just really appreciating that.
And plus, they have small waists.
Yeah, they were also
That's
beautiful and
all.
thin-waisted.
Yeah.
That's the beauty of the wordplay. It applies
Yeah,
both ways.
All right,
okay.
that was beautiful.
Beautiful. Thank you. Madan?
I was thinking of the idea of dharma, and generally you think of that when someone's getting married, marriage ceremony. Even in the West, it says in better or worse, in healthness or sickness. I think that was directing that point that was being made there, that it's not just when everything is going fine, and it's when there is the difficulties. A friend in need is a friend indeed. That idea of dharma, which pretty much is not so much prevalent as it used to be, but in our parents' or grandparents' day, there was hardly any divorce. Everybody understood that this is a religious thing that we're doing. They do it in the church or the shore. There's that aspect of dharma, which holds people together when things get hard.
Very good. Thank you. Mukunda?
Unmute, Prabhu.
Oh, there we go. Haribol. Dhanavad devotees. So
So
actually, this word Sumajima is very interesting, because if we go back to Pranay Geet, that chapter 29, when the gopis first arrive and Krishna is telling them to go back home, one of the last phrases he says to them is, "O Sumajima."
Oh,
So he's showing from even the beginning there, when they came for us, to this point when they've gone through all the trials and tribulations, his love and his appreciation for their beauty and his desire to be with them has not changed, really.
so I would assume that, as Acharya mentioned, there's wordplay. So in this particular instance, after their question, his answering using the same phrase is a little bit different than the first time he sees them. When they first came out, it's more of a glorification of their beauty.
Yeah, it's called an Artha Dwani. It means it's an echo of the meaning, because he's still addressing them as Sumajima, indicating his love hasn't changed, but he's also answering the middle questions.
very nice.
Ah.
Very, very nice.
Yeah,
Which is the best
beautiful.
question. Very nice. Good. Do you want to, how come I can't remember names today? At least I remember Hari Krishna. Akurnath, and then we'll have.
I wanted to, in the Siddhanta video with Shyamsundar, he talks about how somebody was doing Prabhupada's portrait, I think. Anyway, somebody was doing the Queen Elizabeth's portrait, and when he was doing that portrait, Elizabeth had Prabhupada's Bhagavad Gita, and she said to the artist or the sculptor or whoever it was that, Krishna is the supreme controller of all planets and the enjoyer of all sacrifices and the dear most intimate friend of all living entities.
She said
Wouldn't it
that
be
to him.
nice? Huh?
The Queen said that?
The Queen said that. Yeah, Queen Elizabeth II said
Oh my
that.
God.
It's in the Shyamsundar thing, and then Shyamsundar heard that from the sculptor or the painter, and Queen said, "Wouldn't it be nice if that were true?" And then Shyamsundar said, "The Queen said this. She was reading your book, and she said this about Krishna." And then he said that she doesn't understand that he reciprocates, so that if they don't want to have a relationship with him, then so it's like a two-way thing.
Right.
But
Oh,
he's
wonderful.
still the dearmost friend to everyone without need of reciprocation. It's just that he's reciprocating to their desire to
Right.
be independent of him.
Wonderful. Thank you, Akurnath. Mukunda, would you like to read? Wait a minute.
Starting then there.
Yes.
Then there are those individuals who are spiritually self-satisfied, materially fulfilled, or by nature ungrateful or simply envious of superiors. Such persons will not love even those who love them. What to speak of those who are inimical? Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur's commentary. Krishna answers the third question of the gopis in this verse. Since some persons do not respect or respond to those who respect them, what is the question of respecting those who do not respect them? There are 4 types mentioned in sequence from greater to lesser. The first is Atmaram, who delights in the self alone and forever looks within. The second type is Aptakam, those seeing externally has satisfied all of his material desires and therefore does not seek enjoyment from others. The third type is ungrateful person, Akritagya. Even though they desire sense gratification from others, they do not recognize when others help them. The fourth type is Guru Droha, those who is inimical to his superiors. He does not acknowledge that what others have done for him, and rather shows excessive hatred towards them for no good reason. Those who have reasons for being inimical are called Alpadroha, a lower grade of the class of Guru Droha. In addition, those who show hatred towards one who renders protection are Guru Droha, and those who injure one who is faithful are Guru Droha. These 3 types of Guru Drohi are those who do not respect others, In this way, we have had 1 example, selfish persons, to the first question, 2 examples, Prahlad, the mother and father. The second and 6 examples for the third, making a total of 9 examples. Oh, that was a mouthful.
Yeah. So you want to talk about those examples, Mukunda? You can leave this up here so we can see.
Okay.
Mm-hmm. So, so if the idea is that these are related to the examples of being Atmaram, Aptakam, Akritagan, Guru Drohi, because I'm confused here too.
No. What he's done, Mukunda, is in this particular paragraph, especially starting here, here. This is like a summarization of the 3 examples. The first question is the selfish person, who reciprocates only when reciprocated with. 2 examples of the second person, who are merciful by nature. One is Prahlad, and the other is the mother and father for the second. And then 6 examples for the third, which are those who are just inimical all the time. And that was these type of people that you just read.
Yeah.
The Atmarama, Aptakama, Akritagya, and then 3 kinds of Guru Druha.
I see now. All right, well, we've just summarized it.
Okay, now, what's your realization? That was his realization. What's yours?
Yeah. So anyway, this conversation is going on to show Krishna's expertise in responding to the gopis' questions. So he answers all the questions by explaining these different types. Of course, we know as we go further, which I will not jump ahead, he's going to explain that he's none of these. But the questions gave an excitement, an udipan, to stimulate the discussion
Ah,
about the kind of love that Krishna and the gopis have. So I don't want to jump ahead, but
Oh,
when he answers the question finally, these examples and the different categories will come into perspective as things that have nothing to do really with the love between Krishna and the gopis, but that love is of a superior quality, which he's going to describe.
very good.
very nice. Yeah,
Excellent.
nice.
Thank you for
Didn't
your.
put that together as an
That's
Odipan.
beautiful.
That was perfect.
Okay.
Madan?
Quick question. All the examples practical that he's using here are mostly all from the material nature, showing that the material nature has a utility even in transcendence. It's used for examples, isn't it? I mean, this world isn't haphazardly happening. These things that happen in this world are, perverted reflections. So it's a part of the instructions that come to us from hearing about transcendence and how the side by side.
Right.
Thank you.
Ah.
So
Okay.
So
Okay.
now,
Let's.
now, as Mukunda mentioned, there is a difference which will be emphasized between the way Krishna reciprocates and those three different categories. So what I've done is split that into a new section. So now first Srila Prabhupada's example and translations and prose of Krishna's answer from Krishna book.
Okay. Tisha, would you like to read that?
I would love to.
Good. Thank you.
Text 18 and 22, 18 to 22, Krishna book. My dear friends, Krishna continued, you might be aggrieved by my words and acts, but you must know that sometimes I do not reciprocate my devotees' dealings with me. It appears that my devotees are very much attached to me, but sometimes I do not reciprocate their feelings properly in order to increase their love for me more and more. If I can very easily be approached by them, they might think Krishna is so easily available. So sometimes I do not respond. If a person has no money, but after some time accumulates some wealth and then loses it, he will think of the lost property 24 hours a day. Similarly, in order to increase the love of my devotees, sometimes I appear to be lost to them, and instead of forgetting me, they feel their loving sentiments for me increase.
Okay. Before you go on, because I want you to go on, I just want us to notice how Prabhupada is saying this, expressing these feelings in such a accessible manner. He is wonderful, and we'll see how Vishwanath talks about it, which is also
How
wonderful.
so?
in a
What are you
different
talking
mood.
about? What did
Because
you
it's so gentle. He's so gentle. My devotees sometimes appear to be, I appear to be lost to them. And instead of forgetting me, their loving sentiments for me increase. And Vishwanath says it, I remove myself from the vision of my devotees because just to increase their love for me. This is just more of a gentle manner for me.
compared to Grishnath, you're saying Srila Prabhupada's
Yeah.
translation is a little bit softer.
Yeah.
Okay.
I think he knew he was dealing with people like us, maybe. Like me. Okay, Tisha, I'm sorry to interrupt.
My dear friends, do not think for a moment that I have been dealing with you just like ordinary devotees. I know what you are. You have forsaken all kinds of social and religious obligations. You have given up all connection with your parents. Without caring for social convention and religious obligations, you have come to me and loved me, and I am so much obliged to you that I cannot treat you as ordinary devotees. Do not think that I was away from you. I was near to you. I was simply seeing how much you were anxious for me in my absence. So please do not try to find fault in me, because you consider me so dear to you. Kindly excuse me if I have done anything wrong. I cannot repay your continual love for me, even throughout the lifetimes of the demigods in the heavenly planets. It is impossible to repay you or show gratitude for your love. Therefore, please be satisfied by your own pious activities. You have displayed exemplary attraction for me, overcoming the greatest difficulties arising from family connections. Please be satisfied with your highly exemplary character, for it is not possible for me to repay your debt.
Let's have Murari just read the last. Takor, would you like to read the last paragraph here? Takor,
Okay, Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Okay, so is it exemplary character
Yes.
of devotional service?
Yes.
Okay, so the exemplary character of devotional service manifested by the devotees of Vrindavan is the purest type of devotion. It is then joined in the authoritative astra that devotional service must be Tuka and Apratihata. Okay, this means that devotional service to Krishna cannot be checked by political or religious convention. The stage of devotional service is always transcendental. The gopis particularly showed pure devotional service toward Krishna, so much so that Krishna himself remained indebted to them. Lord Chaitanya thus said that devotional service manifested by the gopis in Vrindavan excelled all other methods of approaching the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Thus ends Bhaktivedanta purport of the 31st chapter of Krishna, sung by the gopis.
Very good. Thank you. Okay.
I'd like to
shall-
hear what Tisha thought of that, what she
Yeah.
read.
Okay, Tisha.
And then Murari also.
Okay. Tisha, I have a question for you before you start. What does ordinary devotees mean?
Like, I don't know, like us?
There you go.
Or maybe we're not even ordinary. I don't know.
I don't know. Okay. Well, you just, what is your realization about these things that we just read? Do you want to see the words again, or?
No, I mean, I just think it's so tender. There's a tenderness in Krishna's response that the gopis thought he wasn't there, but he's saying he was there. So that tenderness.
It's also interesting, the dynamic, as Rasaraj means the king, Raj, of Rasa. Rasa Raj is a name for Krishna. And he can reciprocate perfectly with each person. And what he's saying is that there is a type of reciprocation, which is non-reciprocation, to increase one's love.
Wow. And we're going to see Vishwanath's explanation, which is like very profound also. Okay, we got some nice hands up. Do you want to say anything more, Tisha, about this right now?
No.
Okay. Akaranath?
Of course, this is a very famous part. I mean, the whole thing we're reading today is so famous. But the Shivaram Swami wrote some books called the Krishna in Vrindavan series, and one of the books is called Naparanyeham, which is I can't reciprocate, and he develops the idea of our previous acharyas that that by coming as Lord Chaitanya is his way of reciprocating, that he's actually experiencing this separation that the gopis experience also.
That's an interest. We had many discussions about that.
And when this is being used by our acharyas to show that the gopis are very special devotees. So when he says ordinary devotees, he may even be talking about pure devotees who don't have that kind of Madhurya Rasa relationship.
Good. Looks like Mukunda agrees with you. Mukunda? Thank you, Akaranath.
Yeah, that's actually what's mentioned, that Krishna is able to reciprocate in every other rasa. And no other rasa has to violate dharma to carry it out. The cowherd boys don't have to transgress dharma to be his friend. Mother Yashoda Maharaj Nanda don't have to transgress dharma to be his parents. But the gopis, by saying Yama Bhajan, Durjar, Geha Shrinkala, they gave up even their dharma, which because they were married girls and everything else, in order to love him. So he's saying, I cannot reciprocate with that. And then the Kuranath brought a very nice point that actually during the Leela of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, not only reciprocates by accepting the depth of that kind of separation, but he offers service to that kind of love. This is the meaning of the verse, Anapita Chidim Charat Karinvati Nakalo. So Mutpaitam Unata Ujjala Rasa is that kind of love. So Bhakti Sriya means he's offering service to that kind of love. That was the special gift of Mahaprabhu's mercy.
There's a part of that concept that I found rubbed me the wrong way the first time I heard it. And that is that, and when Krishna says, I can't reciprocate in a lifetime of Brahma properly with the love you've shown me. And the first time that I heard that concept that Lord Chaitanya came to, the way it was described was to pay back the debt. That's not at all what's happening. If he can't pay it back, then certainly the way you just described it was a little more subtle, and that's why I wanted to bring it out. You said he's offering service to that love. There's a big difference. There's a huge difference between those two things. One is he tried to pay back the gopis. If you can't pay back a debt, then to say that he tried to pay it back is almost diminishing his appreciation for the debt that he felt.
That's nice.
What
Acharya has said this, because we did, after we read this in Shiva Ram's book, we also did research, and
several people mentioned I couldn't find a source.
What Acharya actually says that Lord Chaitanya appeared to pay back the debt. There's no, the way my husband is describing it, it seems like a contradiction. You want to continue, Patti?
No, the main point is that he was so appreciative of their sacrifice for him that he wanted to understand what that was in them, and therefore he took their position. It's not that he's trying to pay it back. He's appreciating it and wants to know, what is that they're doing? How did they get there? What is this love that they have? There's a big difference between trying to pay it. You can't pay it back.
Yeah.
There's not.
And which Acharya actually said that?
Yeah, this was a discussion that came one time, and it was based on the verse, Yeyatam Mam Prapajante.
Yes, we'll come up to that.
Yeah,
certainly.
So he's saying that Krishna has declared he reciprocates accordingly. So where that idea came from, he's trying to pay it back, was that he's made this promise. He will always try to reciprocate devotees according to their surrender. So they say that in Gaur Leela, it was called Yatna Kori.
Who said? An attempt.
This is spoken by, Shivaram Swami, Vanu Swami.
I'm talking the Acharyas.
Govinda.
I'm talking the
Govind
Acharyas.
Maharaj also, Govind Maharaj also.
I saw,
Yes, Govind Maharaj also has mentioned it. It's a Radha Govind Maharaj also. And it's a thing called Yatna Kori, which is an attempt to show how he is being Yeyatam Mam Prapajante. You understand? But his efforts as Mahaprabhu are also demonstrating superiority of his appreciation, as you said, Dhruva, for their love.
Yes, for my own heart, the appreciation of and his he's Bhagavan. He's the supreme possessor of all opulences, both material and spiritual. He's the origin of all energy. He has at his disposal everything, and he's saying, "I can't pay you back." There's a real depth to that. I love it, and to try and diminish it in any way kind of rubbed me the wrong way.
Yeah, there's a literal function too that in Ujjwala Mani it mentions that Krishna's reciprocation goes up to what is called Modan, which is their meeting. But Krishna cannot reciprocate Mohan and Madan Bhav. That's in Ujjwala Mani.
Oh, that's good. Obviously, good point.
I like what Kunda said about Dharma. In all the other rasas, there's no transcending Dharma, the path of Dharma. But in this particular ras, the gopis have to overstep Dharma. That's a big one for those who follow the Vedic processes, which don't seem to be real popular today. I wanted to ask Thakur first. Did you have realizations?
Yes,
on
I
this
wanted to
verse?
also, about
this
this,
verse?
this particular topic that you read about, Murari Thakur, the residents of Vrindavan. What's unique about their love? Why is it so glorified?
Thakurji, are you there?
Trying to unmute. Okay, so I was thinking, as you said, Prabhu Java, is that how come Lord Krishna is a supreme control? He has everything. And you were saying that I cannot repay you for what you have given for me. So I kind of had a look on it the first time I read it too, and every time each time I read it, I'm saying, how come? But so much so, this is said that in the other rasas, the devotees don't have to give up anything, but like you're saying that these gopis are married. Yes. So yes, I got got that feeling from it that, well, this must be topmost for the Lord to say,
Yes.
cannot
Nice.
repay you. So that each time I read it, it got me. Yes.
They had to really give up things that are very, very difficult to give up in this world
Yes. Yes.
with their love for Krishna. Very good. Thank you. Gurnath?
Actually, I just changed the page. I looked up in the book where he, for quotes of that, and one of them is a song by a Bengali poet named Vasu Ghosh. And I just
Vasu
add
Ghosh?
the,
He's associate of Lord Chaitanya.
Yeah.
We read that
quote
in the
is
Guru
the quote, and he has the Bengali here, but I won't bother to read it. But the quote in English is, "The debt due Radha for her love will be repaid the day Hari becomes Gora in Navadvip. Renouncing the pleasure of Goloka, he will adopt the dress of a beggar, and falling to the ground, he will roll in the dust." And if I can go back to the notes, he puts footnotes in his
Wasn't he
books.
cursed? Wasn't Krishna told? I mean, maybe Purnamasi, you will experience this crying. You will cry. You will cry. You will know this. Who said that actually?
Lalita said it. It's one of the stories of Govinda Maharaj's book, Embankment of Separation.
Yeah.
Thank you for that,
that was Vasu Ghosh.
Karanath. I think that's actually, now that that's an associate of Lord Chaitanya, and that's a mood. I would say that's more of a rasa than a tattva. That he's seeing Lord Chaitanya's or Krishna's attempt to experience that as part of that Leela. Nice, thank you. Who knows what verse these two words are in? Ahaituki, apratiyata. It is enjoined in the authoritative Shastra that devotional service must be ahaituka and apratihata. Anybody know that verse?
126 Savai Pumso Paradharma.
Keep going.
Okay, someone else finish it then.
Ahaitiki apatiyata ya atma supersiati.
Right. This is the first answer of the sages of Namasharanya asked Suta Goswami 6 questions. And the first question was, what can people in general do so that they can attain perfection? What is the goal? How do they attain it? And he said, Savai Pumsam Parodharma, the highest perfection, Yato Bhaktir Arhoksaji, that devotional service to the transcendent Lord. Ahaitukiya pratiyata yayatma supersediti. So what I did in this particular connection was to link that with Srila Prabhupada's example and explanation that he's saying the exemplary character of devotional service manifested by devotees in Vrindavan is the purest type of Vrindavan devotion. It is enjoined in the authoritative Shastra that devotional service must be ahaituka and apratiyata. This means that devotional service to Krishna cannot be checked by political or religious convention. This stage of devotional service is always transcendental, and as Mukunda just pointed out, the gopis transcended everything. Whatever material concept of dharma you may have about being married was thrown to the wind.
Madan?
We connect the last part, the instruction in the Bhagavad Gita, Sarva Dharma Prityaja, give up all forms of dharma.
Good.
Yeah.
And then in the
Good.
Bhagavatam, it starts off like that. So it says where Bhagavad Gita stops, Bhagavatam starts. And
Oh,
Nice.
good.
Perfect.
Good comparison. Excellent. Okay. Shall we go on?
Yes.
Nanda,
Oh.
you want to read? Is Nanda still here? Yes.
Sure.
Nanda.
Oh, but you know what? I'm having internet problems, and right now I can see the print, but it's all blurry on my side, so I can't
Oh.
read it because I can't read it. My fault.
Okay. Okay.
Sometimes it clears up and sometimes it's blurry, but
Okay,
today
so
it's
listen to
sorry.
it, and then we'll ask you to comment if you want to. Okay? Okay, Manvitar, why don't you
Okay,
read?
sure.
Text
Manvit-
20, Sarja Darshini. Krishna continued, but the reason I do not immediately reciprocate the affection of living beings, even when they worship me, O gopis, is that I want to intensify their loving devotion. They then become like a poor man who has gained some wealth and then lost it, and who thus become so anxious about it that he can think of nothing else. Visvanatha Chakravarti Thakur. The gopis said, Krishna, you are not among the examples given in your answers to the first and second questions, for you are not a selfish materialist, not a merciful devotee, nor a mother or father. Please tell us then, which of the four types of Guru Durhui you belong to?
Go on.
Krishna answered, you want to hear my defeat from my own mouth? Oh, Sakis, smiling and glancing at each other in glee. Please hear me. In as much as I am Narayana, I am self-satisfied, Atmarama, and full in all desires, Purna Kama. But as the son of Nanda, I am neither of these. As a simple cowherd boy, not having studied the Nitai Sastras, I am Akrita Gyan, ignorant. But as Narayana, I am Krit Gyan, all-knowing and also grateful. I am Guru Drohi for having hurt you by once abandoning you after having shown favor to you many times by enjoying pastimes with you. Nevertheless, I am not Guru Drohi, for I gave you the ecstasy of seeing me again. Gopis, then to which class do you belong? Krishna, to none of these. Here the word to, on the other hand, expresses the introduction of a contrary idea. I do not respond to any living entity that respects or worships me.
Ah, that's really confusing. What do you think about that?
Yeah. He's like what was said before. He is Bhagavan, and it sounds like he's playing on words, but at the same time, maybe it's just the art of speaking. But it sounds like he's contradicting himself. But as Bhagavan, he's not doing that. That's not the fact, is what I'm saying. So I don't know what else to say about it.
Okay, who would like to comment? Oh, Jagarini. Thank you,
Um,
Manvitar.
I wanted to clarify my understanding. The commentaries by Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur that we've been reading, those are not actual conversations, correct? Those are parsing out and giving more understanding to the verses that are actual.
Right.
Yes?
Yes. Very good. Sometimes they can be confusing, but the Acharyas can do this.
Mhm.
That the Acharyas can do this faultlessly. It's a very
Nobody else.
it's a very dangerous art to pursue if you're not completely on the transcendental platform with no material desires or attractions.
Yeah, Jagarini, read this quote by Srila Prabhupada.
Every morning when I sit here to write my books, Krishna comes personally and dictates to me what to write. I simply take dictation from Krishna to write these books. Therefore, when I read them, even I learn something. Yes, I remember that. Yes.
Whenever
Amazing,
that
huh?
question comes up, I also relate to that. There are some different stories about Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur that are quite amazing in his revelation of how he could live in both worlds as a sadhaka in a male form in the material world, but also in his Manjari Bhava form as a Nitya Siddha of Radha and Krishna. Mukunda?
I think Madan.
Oh, you just said it. You just said it.
Okay. Madan?
I just have this one thing that popped in my mind and wanted to see if it's verifying the same idea. When Lord Brahma came back and offered his prayers, Krishna never acknowledged his presence even. He wondered, who is this man with the four heads? And Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur said that because of his mood of being the son of Mother Jasoda, he couldn't access his omniscience. So he becomes under the control of the rasa and doesn't access the other, his Narayan feature. That does that interact with this okay, or is that different?
Yeah, it's a good example.
Sounds like that, like what that purport just included, something similar. He was understanding his both positions. As Narayan, I'm like this, but as a son of Maharaj Nanda, I'm like that.
Thank you, Ms. Nanda.
Similar question that Madan put forward, similar. I want to just clarify. So Krishna's apparent contradictory statements that he just made to the gopis, I'm like this, but then again, you can't say I'm like this, I'm like that, but I'm, going back and forth, like answering and not answering the question simultaneously. So is that also, can it be related to the fact that Krishna says, as one surrenders to me, I reward them accordingly, so that people who are on different levels of understanding can understand him, okay, at certain levels. If they're on a very materialistic level, they'll see him in a materialistic way. Does that apply there?
I think that could be. Why not? Yeah.
I don't know. If you say why not, then it's why not.
Why not? I don't know. Go on.
And then I have another, so I'm not so much on these great elevated levels or able to understand these great elevated levels of the gopis, etc. But when I was hearing what I heard from how Krishna said, I didn't reciprocate with you in order to increase your love for me, how I could relate to that was like for a lowly little old sadakini, trying to, chant rounds with a tad of concentration every day, feeling like, I'm not making much progress. Sometimes like that statement by Krishna, I don't reciprocate in order to increase my devotees' hankering, kind of gives me a little bit of solace. Just keep trying, just keep trying, just keep trying, just keep trying. And
Your sentiment, Nanda, is almost verbatim going to be in the next upcoming paragraph.
I sent you that verse.
Oh, is that why you had it?
I don't know. Did you? Is that the verse that?
Oh yeah, yeah. That's true. Yeah, that's true. I forgot that was coming up.
Oh,
yeah. Sorry. I forgot that was coming up because
don't be sorry. I really. That's wonderful. It's wonderful. Mukunda.
But can I add one other thing to add to that?
Sure.
Many years ago, my friend Kaishori, who works for the North European BBT, was working on a book, and she every now and then would send me quotes. So when she was working on Bhakti Siddhanta Maharaj's, I don't know whose book, but one of those, he had written a letter to his disciples saying that sometimes Krishna does not reciprocate with his devotees throughout their whole life. Not until the point of their death, because sometimes if he gives them the quote unquote reward for their devotional endeavors, if they're still in a neophyte stage, they might get distracted by pride or this or that, or distracted by the rewards, and therefore he oftentimes doesn't reciprocate till the point of death. And I thought,
Wow.
Oh,
Anyway,
well.
just
Oh,
read that.
well. Hare Krishna. Mukunda,
Yeah.
thank you, Nandaji.
Yeah, the conversation in particular here about being Guru Drohi, there's a subtle implication here because Krishna is told, it's written in Chaitanya Charitamrita, Radhikara Prem Guru Ami Sishanat, that Krishna's saying, Radhika's love is my Guru. So here he's saying that under that circumstance, having not reciprocated your love, I could appear as Guru Drohi. But by reappearing, and the feeling that comes about from reappearing after separation is fully satisfying, I'm not Guru Drohi.
Ah, nice.
Very good.
Sweet.
Nice,
Yeah, that's a
nice
sweet one.
analogy. Very good.
Beautiful.
Yeah.
Thank you. Karnath.
Unmute, Prabhu.
So many things come to mind, but one I wanted to think of is in Bhagavad Gita 9:29, where Krishna says, "I'm equal to all, but then I'm especially affectionate to my devotees," which appears like a contradiction, and Srila Prabhupada explains, but it's natural that a charitable man is kind to everyone, but he has a special affection for his own children. This where Krishna is making the distinction, as Narayan I'm like this, but as Krishna I'm like that, reminded me of that verse.
He has a nature also.
But as they surrender unto me, I reward them accordingly. The essence of that verse can go under that category of 411. That's an example of it.
Yeah, I was also thinking about the second verse in the Bhagavatam, Dharma Projatakaitavotra, that the cheating religion is what most people the worldly people think of. I'll be good, I'll observe Dharma, I'll be religious, because then God will reward me with something I want.
Material. It's material.
Yeah, something material, or and that this kind of love is being explained about how the Srimad Bhagavatam is explaining the real love, the true love that's selfless like this, and this part of the Bhagavatam is, the ultimate culmination of explaining love, of really explaining love.
Let's move on now, okay?
Okay, let's move on. When we're going to move on. Okay, Madan, you want to read a little?
Okay, starting with gopis.
Yes.
But how is it different from the group Guru Drohi you previously explained? Krishna. Okay. For those surrendered souls who worship me through Nam Kirtan and other means, I do not respond in order to make their worship more perfect. O gopis, who cannot understand my real intention, not seeing me, those surrendered souls develop deep humility, feeling, alas, alas, everything I have done has been useless because I am an offender. Krishna has not shown even the slightest favor towards me. Let me be damned. By constantly thinking in this way, those who have not yet developed mature love for me become free from lust and anger and awaken pure devotion full of power and brilliance.
Okay, so this is before we go to the next one.
Let's keep going.
Because it's okay.
We're
It's
getting
a totally
late.
different.
We're getting late here.
Okay, go on, Madame. You want to read another one, Madame? Next, just read.
Okay, I'm waiting for my screen. I had to unmute. However, the nature of those who are already have mature love, Krishna Prem, for me is different. For them, I do not respond in order to increase their attachment to me. I appear and then disappear in order to deepen their loving attachment. In this regard, an analogy to those who have already have prema is given by the words beginning with yacha. When a poor man gains wealth and then loses it, he becomes filled with thoughts of that wealth and cannot think of anything else, such as eating and drinking. Those who have obtained prema and then lose the Lord react similarly to this.
Next person.
Okay. Nanda, can you read now?
No, she has a blurry screen.
Oh, she still has a blurry screen. Okay, Bahushara.
But guess what? It's not blurry right now, so I can
Okay,
read
hurry
now.
up and read.
Okay.
Hurry up and
Okay,
read before it
Krishna.
blows.
Krishna, in this way, I am actually merciful. It is desirable for my worshippers to have this complete attachment to me. Thus, to increase that attachment more and more, I, even though externally failing to reciprocate with them, invisibly reciprocate very much with them. Wow. Although you gopis are the ideal examples of those who worship even those who do not worship them, I too am actually very merciful, as much as you are, since I have given you the gift of my darshan. Wow. One should not think that only if I am present that I respond. Oh, okay, just went blurry.
Okay,
Sorry.
Bahushara. Bahushara.
But thanks for the opportunity.
Sign from
One
one.
cannot think that only if I am present that I respond, and if I am absent, I do not respond. For then my promise, I will respond accordingly as they worship me, in Gita 4:11, would be broken.
So what does that mean?
I will respond accordingly so as they worship me. It would be broken.
Oh, the promise.
Yes.
Yeah, the promise. Yeah, what's the promise? Yeah, I mean, I get that. I mean,
One should not think that only if I'm present that I respond, and if I'm not present, I do not respond, for then my promise would be broken.
Mm-hmm.
So he's constantly, he's expressing how there's both sides to that. Even when he's not personally present, one shouldn't think, oh, I'm doing all this service and he's not responding. You know, I should be getting back what I'm putting in. He's saying, I am doing that, but maybe not in the way that you're
imperceptibly.
Well, now we have the gift statement that we'll just have to wait till the end of our lives. And
well, coming very shortly, just now coming. Bahushara, please continue.
Jagarini had a question.
Oh, Jagarini?
This is the end of a verse, so we can discuss a little bit, Sam.
I was just thinking, Krishna's just telling them it's his strategy. That's basically what he's saying.
Thank you.
Hey, it's my strategy. I'm still with you.
Also, going back a little while, Tisha, when you asked before about the ordinary devotees and those who are not ordinary, these two paragraphs where he's describing those who worship me with Nam Kirtan, I do not respond in order to make their worship more perfect. That's us. And then, however, the nature of those who've already had mature love for me is different. For them, I don't respond in order to increase their attachment to me. The principle is the same, the idea of increasing love, but it manifests differently in different people.
Kunda?
Also, he's saying that I don't need to be with you in order to prove that my promise to reciprocate your love is there. So I'm not going into details here because it would be too exhaustive, but he's going to talk about Vipralambaras, that there's actually meeting in separation.
Nice, yes.
Oh, yeah. Well, that's a good thing. Thank God. I mean, thank you, Krishna. Praise God. Very good. Okay, let's go on. Bahushara, why don't you do this?
My dear girls, understanding that simply for my sake, you had rejected the authority of worldly opinion, of the Vedas, and of your relatives, I acted as I did only to increase your attachment to me. But when I removed myself from your sight by suddenly disappearing, I never stopped loving you. Therefore, my beloved gopis, please do not harbor any bad feelings towards me, your beloved. Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur. It is true that you fully respond both to the devotees who have not achieved praying and to those who have achieved praying. Now you have counted us among these ordinary living beings, since you are also acting in this manner with us. Anticipating these doubtful words of the gopis, Krishna said, "O dearly beloveds, the dust of your lotus feet is more dear to me than countless millions of my own lives. Please forgive my wickedness for treating you like ordinary persons today." This is the meaning of evam, or evam can also mean in this way. For my sake, you gave a worldly opinion by ignoring what is proper and improper, and also the Vedas by ignoring what is religious and irreligious. In addition, you gave up your affection for relatives, wealth, and friends to come to me. In order to increase your loving propensity, I have responded to you invisibly, as I do with my ordinary devotees. I disappeared from your sight with a desire to hear your love-filled lamentations. With such pitiful exclamations of repentance, Krishna states that he has done a great injustice. Krishna said, devotees such as you have never existed either in the past, present, or in the future. There are no other devotees like you whose attraction for me is so great that it never decreases even by one atom. Please, therefore, forgive this injustice of mine, which I did to show the other prema bhaktas, praise, the great glory of your love and separation. Please forgive me for my lack of consideration of you. You should not be inimical or find fault with me, because I'm dear to you. Certainly lovers do not take to heart the faults of their beloved.
All right, let's just read the next, before we have a conversation, this next verse, which is the verse. Manvitar, why don't you read this, and then we'll have a discussion.
You don't have to do the Sanskrit, Manvitar.
Manvitar.
Not there anymore, maybe.
Haribol, Manvitar. Okay. Jagarini, you want to read?
Sure. I'm sorry. I was trying to unmute. And then I was
okay,
thinking, maybe, is it too noisy, perhaps?
No, nothing's noisy. You're
Okay,
doing good.
all right. So, Sarja Darshini, sorry about that. I am not able to repay my debt to your spotless service, even within a lifetime of Brahma. Your connection with me is beyond reproach. You have worshipped me, cutting off all domestic ties, which are difficult to break. Therefore, please let your own glorious deeds be your compensation. Visvanatha Chakravarti Thakur. Krishna said, now please hear what is going on in my mind. Your association with me is faultless and unconditional. It does not depend on my condition of material desires.
Any condition.
It does not depend on any condition of material desire, fruit of work, worldly opinion, religious codes, or the injunctions of scripture. You are all saintly simply by the good deeds you have done. It is not by coming into contact with something that you have become sanctified. I am incapable of properly reciprocating with you, even if it were to attain a lifetime of the demigods. The word kritiam is in the singular to suggest that even one such action of the gopis can never be repaid. Completely cutting off the chains of attachment to relatives such as husbands, sisters-in-law, fathers and brothers, which could not be cut, you worshipped me.
Okay.
Is this like another way of like when people say all glories to your service, is this what Krishna is actually saying? Like when among devotees, we'll say like all glories to your service. Like you can't. Is it like a repetition of what Krishna is saying here?
It could be if you have the same mood. Why not? It could be. Oh, glory to your service. Yeah, and if someone dresses the deities magnificently, you could say, "Oh, glories to your service," and you're in awe. What else can you say? That's a good comparison. Anything else? Patsy, why is this here? Do you want us to go on, or do you want us to have?
Yes.
Okay, we have to go on. Jagarini, but thank you for that, Manvantara. We're about after Jagarini reads. We're going to hear a beautiful little clip from Prabhupada. Go on, Jagarini.
Sure. Another meaning of Ma Abhajan is as follows. Ma is used as a negative in this case, meaning you cut off all bonds to your family. And after attaining me, you no longer reciprocate with them, unlike immature yogis who still maintain some family attachment. I, on the other hand, worship you, but at the same time continue having affection for my parents, brothers, and friends. Even though I have promised to reciprocate equally with those who surrender unto me, ye yata mam prabhajante, I failed to carry out that promise in regards to you. I did not respond as you did by giving up my father, mother, brother, and friends. It is impossible for me to repay you for what you have done. Therefore, let your own pure character be the reward. Although your good character makes you forgive me for my fault and relieve me of my debt, still I remain forever indebted to you. The gopis then considered in their minds, even though Krishna, being the Supreme Personality of Godhead, is full of all transcendental qualities, devoid of the slightest trace of any fault, and knows all about our love for him, in order to establish the superiority of our love for him and to make himself indebted to us, he has performed this act of giving us up. We, who wanted to defeat Krishna and criticize him for his conduct with our riddles, have been most immoral in our intent, whereas he desired only to establish our exalted position. We could never act like that. Thus, in effect, we have become conquered by Krishna's love.
So that's a beautiful culmination. But I wanted to say something. I just had a realization about this payback, right? Coming as Lord Chaitanya, he's displaying the love that he witnessed in Srimati Radharani and in the gopis. And though he cannot pay back, he can advertise and display the love. He can exalt the love. He can glorify the love.
Distribute it.
He can distribute the love.
Yeah.
That's it. It's not like it's a reciprocation rather than a payback that on a material level. It's a natural reaction for him to want to display this magnificent kind of love. That's my understanding of it. And I've been meditating on this and being totally confused for a long time. But it's just that Mukunda.
Yeah, this speaks to what Kruranath Prabhu mentioned earlier. This is what they meant by payback, because in Gaur Leela, Mahaprabhu does give up his friends, his dear mother Sachi and everything to accept sannyas. Understand? So I think that's the reference to the payback. That in Krishna's telling here, I cannot give up Mother Yashoda Maharaj, Nanda, Subal, etc. I cannot give them up. But in Gaur Leela, his dear close associates in Navadvip, especially Mother Sachi, whom he promised he would receive after Vishwarup, he gives them up to go and take sannyas. What the Kruranath Prabhu mentioned earlier, this is being verified. Plus, he verified it in the bhajan.
Yeah. But it's like a Chintabeta Beta Tattva, because even though he's paying it back, because you see it's being displayed, he's giving up his mother, he's giving up his father, he's giving up everyone to glorify Krishna. That is perfect. That's beautiful. Thank you. That was wonderful. But also he's advertising the love, which is the mood, the other side of the same mood. It's beautiful. Thank you. Okay. So there we are. Now we're going to hear a tape from Srila Prabhupada clip. It's really beautiful. Louder.
Yeah, let me adjust my sound.
when we come to that state,
Can you hear it?
It could be louder, but it's on.
That's as
But
loud
we
as
can
I
hear.
can.
Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is teaching the Gopi Bhaktu Padakamalayo. He is also bringing the reference of the Gopi. Because Krishna is completely under gopis. He is so much indebted to the gopis that he said that I cannot repay your debts. It is not possible. Krishna, the all-powerful, all-opulence, but he had no means to repay the debts of the gopis. This is the position of the Gopi. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu recommends, Ramma Kachi Upasana, Brajavadhu Varga Bija Kalpita. There is no other better shape of worshipping Krishna than it was planned by the Gopis. Ramma Kachi Upasana, Brajavadhu Varga Bija Kalpita. This is the highest. In the same way, he says, Gopi Bhaktu Padakamalu, Gopi Jana Vallabha. The Gopi Jana Vallabha is Krishna. Padakamalu, one who has taken shelter. Don't try to become gopis. No. Rather, try to become the dust of the lotus feet of the gopis. Gopi Bhaktu Padakamalu, just like Uddhav. Uddhav wanted to become one grass in Vrindavan because the gopis will trample over it. This is highest perfection. So, liberation. Liberation means Gopi Bhaktu Padakamalu Dasu Dasu Dasanu Dasu. The more you become servant of the servant of Vaishnava, then you are perfect. That is.
Whoa, Jai Srila Prabhupada.
Hi.
Oh, my goodness. Okay. Who can say something after that?
Got one, well, little comment. I found a verse that this is what the message that Uddhava was sent. Krishna sent this message to the gopis, and it was quite similar. The three of the Sanskrit words are Vayogo Mena. So, but it said, Supreme Lord said, you are never actually separated from me, for I am the soul of all creation, just as the elements of nature, ether, air, fire, water, and air, ether, are present in every created thing. So I'm also present within everyone's mind, life, air, and senses, and also within the physical elements and the material modes. And the purport to that, there's a lot of different purports. Even the gopis discussed it in 3 different conversations, what this verse meant. So anyway, I just thought I'd add that. It's a wonderful class today. Thank you so much, Dhruv and Sama. And does this act like an Udipan for us? This, when you hear these things, it just acts as such a exciting to hear this. And one last thing, I'll finish. Bhakti Tirtha, he wrote a book on becoming a beggar. So I thought that was referring to the person who had the money and lost the money, that he's in that mood. Is that all right?
Could be.
Well, Haribo, Dhruva, can you send that to me on WhatsApp, that clip of Prabhupada? Is it away?
I'll try.
All right.
I don't know if the audio will transfer.
We're so fortunate to be able to hear from Srila Prabhupada.
Yes. Well, if you just have the reference, I'll just look it up in the video.
Okay, sure.
Okay, if anyone else have something to add? Everyone's happy. Sending
Right.
hearts.
So, yes, Happy New Year, Merry Christmas, Happy New Year,
Merry
everyone. This will be our
Christmas.
last Zoom
Happy New Year, Hare
until,
Krishna, Hare Krishna.
Until when, Pati?
until,
Until when?
I don't know,
I
January
didn't know
6th.
Tatari was even here.
Next
Oh,
year.
I was here.
I'm
I
sorry. Why
was-
didn't you tell me?
Oh, I thought it was there, but anyway, I just wanted to thank you all for churning this nectar.
Thank you. I'm sorry. I would have had you read.
It's
But
all right. Hare Krishna.
I'm sorry. Thank you, everyone. So when will we meet
Nothing
again?
on
Pati?
Tuesday, huh?
No, nothing now, because everybody gets so busy. We've been
Yeah, yeah.
doing this for quite a few years, and it gets to a point where everybody's quite distracted. So what we'll do is the Tuesday after New Year's, I think it's January 4th or something, is a Sunday, whatever it is. I can't, here, hold on a
We'll
second.
send
let me look it up.
notices.
I can
Oh,
find it.
He's finding it.
I'll
So
look
not
it up.
next week, but the week after.
So January 4th is a Sunday, and I'll
The
post the
Tuesday, yeah.
Yeah, I'll post the first verses of the Rasa Dance, chapter 33, on the 4th, and Tuesday, January 6th, will be our next Zoom meeting where we go over those verses. This is now that Krishna, one of the points to note and maybe meditate on during the holidays, which is really nice, is that this answer by Krishna, they were, let's do a little review how they were feeling angered and hurt that he had left them like ordinary devotees. They even put it into their statement, Vishwanath. But in his answer, anticipating that was one of their sentiments, Krishna answered it by explaining, I treat ordinary devotees like this, but I also treat you like this because I wanted to glorify your love amongst other Premi Bhaktas. What happened in essence was that his answer gave them such confidence and such appreciation that the time, place, and circumstances became exactly the right moment to begin the Rasa Dance. And that's what will happen when we return. Because now, whatever little competitiveness they had amongst themselves has been satisfied by him leaving and finding Radha, and then going through the Gopi Gita. Then the sentiments of of hurt that they had have been dispelled by his answer. And also it's mentioned in the very first verses of the Rasa Dance that their confidence of not being separated again was fulfilled because that had already taken place and there was no need for it anymore. So they're fully confident that yes, now we can just love Krishna with no hindrances.
Yeah. Okay.
Thank you, everyone.
Thank you.
Thank you all for your association.
Thank you. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.